Okay, my name is Nzambi Matee, founder of Jijenge Makers Limited. Jijenge Makers is an alternative, affordable, sustainable building product manufacturing company. I know it's very long, but ideally speaking, what we do in simple terms is we produce building products, and our first product line are pavers, which are made from recycled plastic waste. My work entails, in a nutshell, taking plastic waste from the environment and converting it into building products. So my day looks like just like simple any other. Of course, I have to wake up and get after my beauty sleep. But the first one is right now we are a team of 10, 5 full-time, 5 part-time, and we're a relatively small team. So everyone is a jack of all trades. So for example, for me, one day I wake up, I'm in the production team, the next day I'm in sales, the next day I'm in maintenance. So my day is not, I don't have like one day. I cannot say my day is waking up, going to office and doing that, no. So like for example, I can say like for today I woke up and I woke up as a salesperson. So I went, I finished sales, and now I'm in the maintenance. So what comes? Because at the end of the day, you have to be a jack of all trades. I think it's a series of trial and error, if I may say so. Trial and error in the context of the whole concept started with me and 5 of my friends. After a hackathon, we won and we started the business of collecting plastic waste, sorting and selling to recyclers. So we did that for about 3 to 6 months. Then we realized we are collecting more plastic than we are selling to recyclers. So then this brought the question of what more do we do with this plastic that has remained? And so that's when we started thinking and started prototyping and started like scouring the internet and seeing what other solutions have been done. And so we came across this where we're converting plastic waste into building products. And that's how we started. Ideally speaking, that was the birth of everything. And then now going down from there, that was from 2017 all the way to 2019. It was just research and development. Like figuring out, it took us about 8 to 9 months just to make one brick. Now we needed to figure out how to make 1,000 bricks. So that's ideally what I may say, that's how we started, if I'm not wrong and if I've not deviated from the question. That's how we started. It's just a series of trial and error for 3 years. So of course in the beginning it was hard, but now I think I've gotten a thick skin, if I may say so. But then also it reaches a point where once you wear that overall, everything else almost becomes null and void. Like you enter into this zone that now your work speaks for yourself. Because when you are starting, of course you're new to the space, you don't know what to do, you're all clumsy, less informed and all that stuff. But then over the period of time, the more I did, the more I learned. The more I did, the more I gained confidence. And it's from that confidence now that it now at this point in time becomes almost null and void. When I wear that overall, everything else shatters. So I think if I am to liken what I do to a job, I think I will be a firefighter, like a fireman or a firewoman in this case. I think that's what I'll compare my everyday job is like a firefighter, because today as I'm speaking to you, we are thinking how do we do maintenance. We have a list of like technical problems you have to solve, and then tomorrow I'll have a list of like production things, and then you have a list of procurement things. I like that process. I like the process of finding solutions. That makes my day. What I'm passionate about fluctuates, but what has always remained true and what has always remained constant is I've always wanted to have an impact and to create a dent in the universe as far as environment is concerned, and I've always wanted to build machines. So those two things have always remained constant. Everything else fluctuates. I understand why most women don't don't like bring themselves forward into this space, because sometimes the working conditions are hard. So I think that's one thing that can be changed. The other thing is also providing a room where, because I don't know, and this one I'm speaking just from my own opinion, and it varies from human being to human being, but generally we women, we have a skill, if I may say so, of second guessing ourselves so much. So we second guess ourselves so much to the point of you even forget to like, well, you even forget what you know, if I may say so, or rather you disqualify what you know because you've second guessed yourself so much. So I think, and in this industry, there is no room for second guessing yourself. It's either you know or you don't know. So I think those are the external ones. The internal ones, and I think I've started alluding to it, the first one is just, you know what, it reaches a point where like, let me try. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work. Well and good. At least now I know one way of not doing whatever it is I was doing. And then the other thing is, there's also this, once again, this is just my own opinion, there's also like the fear of the unknown tends to like really swallow the potential of a woman down so much. What you see here is what we term as the bottom of the pyramid plastic. So essentially this is the plastic which cannot be recycled anymore. This is it. It's a mixture of lots of plastic. So this is what we use. We do value add to this plastic. Once that which can be recycled has been recycled, this is the leftover. And this, my friend, this here is gold. So what are the unique challenges I face? Every single day, I get people second guessing me. Every single day. And to some extent, it has become almost subconscious. At first, it used to get into my nerves, but now it stopped getting into my nerves because I just knew the people that I was working with, especially in the beginning, before like they got used to me and all that stuff, they were like, will you be able? There was that. But I think that's the unique challenge. I can say it is just for me as a woman. I might be paranoid, but it's just, I think the second guessing part sometimes gets into my nerves. I think it's a bit too early to start saying what are the wins, but what are the highlights of my career so far is, first of all, I think, and this I say in almost everywhere I go, I've been able to build a really good team that I think with the right resources you can even build a plane, not to blow our own horn or anything. And then the other win we have done is we've been able to build, ideally speaking, in this space, the machineries and the equipment that I used mostly in this space, almost like 100% of them are outsourced from outside Kenya, that is. And we were able to build the technology from scratch within the setup, in the local setup. So I think that's a really big win for us. In addition to the other wins, for example, we recently, last year, 2020, we won the UNEP Young Champions of the Earth Award, which was really good. It was a huge morale booster, and I think it has taken us to the next level that we need now to solidify our position as a leader in the alternative building space. I think it has taken a lot of my self-awareness from my end, because I've realized there are things like leadership qualities. There are that which you can learn, and then there's that which you have. You either have or you don't have. But the bottom line is, who are you and how do you do it? That's because what works for you might not necessarily work for me, and vice versa. So I think for me, how we've been able to do it is, first of all, the bare minimum is every single person as a human being, they have ideas. It might not be the best, it might not work, but it's an idea nonetheless. And so it starts with simple things as just listening. Listening sometimes is a challenge, especially if you like talking. Like, for example, for me, I love talking. But it has, and that's why I'm saying it has taken a lot of self-awareness, because I've learned to keep quiet and say, let me listen. Even to the most quiet team member of our team, let me listen. Because you'll be surprised what they have to say. Even the introverts, most of the time we have saved ourselves from huge problems by listening to the most quiet member of the team. So I think those are such small skills that there are those which you learn and there are those which you have. But the bottom line is, who are you? I think we should stop trying to fit in, and we should start creating spaces for ourselves. Because the men didn't fit in, they created those spaces. So we should not say, oh, we need you to help us fit in, or we need to change this standard. I think it's time we stopped trying to fit in and just be ourselves and create the spaces for us. Because, like, for example, if you look in the likes of, and just to mention a few names, for example, like Tabitha, when I see her, I see the aspect of someone like pushing in themselves and creating a space for themselves and saying, this is it. And it comes to be. It happens. So I think it's time we start changing the mindset, and especially even for the young girls coming, stop trying to fit into this male-dominated space and start creating your own space as a woman. Because every single day you build something, so why don't you build your own space? The biggest lesson, as I've learned by myself, is never underestimate the potential you have as a person. And this I'm saying not just as a woman, but also as a woman coming in the African context. Because of course, in the history we have, history can speak against ourselves, if I may say so, being, of course, knowing what we as Africans have experienced, like slavery and colonization and all that stuff. But I think with that said and done, it kind of tends to tinker, or rather tweak the thinking. And so therefore we limit on how even we can imagine. If you was to choose between knowledge and imagination, you would choose imagination. Because it's my belief, I think, you acquire knowledge after you've imagined something, you've created a hypothesis and you've tested that hypothesis and you've proved it's right or wrong. Hence, in that process, you gain the knowledge. So that's why imagination is more important. So the first lesson I've learned is imagine as much as you can. Like, think big, think outside the box. You'll be surprised what you can achieve. And then the other thing is, you know what, just do it. If nothing else, if it works, well and good. If it doesn't work, now you know. But either way, just do it. I think those are the two biggest lessons that can sum up everything. Women's support is true, it's an important thing. Because being in this space, you tend to be alone, or rather in a room where you are the different one, if I may say so, by the virtue of gender. And so therefore, how you interact with things are totally different with how men interact with things, and how things affect you are totally different with how your same colleague will experience the same thing, but the outcome or rather the effect is totally different. So women's support is very important, because personally I've gotten a lot of mentorship from other women who are older than me, who are in different spaces, not necessarily in the manufacturing space, and they have held my hand and told me, yes, when it reaches a point you're facing a struggle, it's fine, cry. But when you finish crying, wake up, dust yourself up and go find a solution. Because if you don't stop crying, then how do you get a solution? So I think women's support is very important, especially in the hard times. It comes in very handy. Mentors are people who have gone ahead of you, and they might not necessarily go in the same path, because every single human being has their own paths. But mentors have gone into a similar road, and they know where the dents are, where the bumps are, and so they help you navigate through that easily. So they help you save a lot of time, they save a lot of resources. So ideally speaking, you learn fast, and in case you fail fast and you fail cheaply, because you learn from them. Because only a fool doesn't learn from other people's mistakes. And so that's what the mentors are there for. And also in addition to even giving you like that parental guidance. Because, for example, right now, I am only 29. I have no idea what will happen in the next 30 years. But my mentors, I have a mentor who's like 72 years. He has seen it all, he has done it all. So I like the way he's not even surprised when I come have this problem and I say, no, I'm facing this and this and this and this, I'm all frustrated. He's like, relax, calm down. It's never that serious. So I like that. And also I have a lot of women who say, you know what, pump your brakes, don't do that, or pump your brakes, go that direction. So I think that's very important, especially for me as a young woman. I think, yeah, and I hope when I grow old and I get all this experience, I'll be able to return the favor. Of course, I need to improve on my leadership skills. I think that's something I need to improve on, and mostly not leadership as such, but managerial. Because once again, as I stated earlier, the biggest lessons I've learned is self-awareness, and I've realized I'm a really good leader, but I'm not that great manager. So those are now the other things in addition to work-life balance. Managerial skills, those are something every single day when I go to YouTube, I make sure I watch like something, 1 or 2 things to just improve on the managerial cycles. In our team, we are a team of, as I said, 10. 4 of us are women, which I am very proud of. We are only 25%, but I am hoping to move that number to that. We work also with other women, but outside in the periphery, that because we have what you call the production process, and we have the pre and the post-production process. So the pre and the post-production process, those ones are in the collection and in the installation side. So we work with different women in that side. So we have worked with about 112 people, both youth and women. And I can say about more than 30% of those are women. So I think I'm proud of that, but I want to see if I can improve that number. Kesi baadaye, just start. Because you will never know until you start. Because you'll be surprised what you'll know during the course of the way. Because I'm just thinking, if those explorers never took that risk of getting in that boat and going and finding new lands, we'll not be having like the aeroplanes and all these like interconnectivity in the global village that we live in right now. So just start. There's also that fear of the unknown, but just start. The day you stop learning is the day you die. And by that I mean either dying intellectually or dying grow as a skill or in your career-wise, because the whole idea, even us biologically speaking, we are constantly growing. So why don't you constantly grow by self-learning? Because there's that which you can be taught, but most of it you learn yourself. So I think self-learning is, in summary, the day you stop learning or getting more knowledge is the day you die.